Hey everybody, welcome back to Financial Freedom Friday, where we give tips and encouragement to try to help you achieve financial freedom. My name is Nate. It's good to be here again. Today we're going to talk about finding enjoyment in living on less than you make, or what I call living intentionally. Now, talking about saving money is never really that much of an exciting topic to talk about, so I'm going to try to give simple tips, but I hope that it's something that you haven't thought before, okay? And so one of the first things I want to talk about is, the savings rate here in America is probably only like 5% of your income. And so if that means if the savings rate's 5% and you just fit the national average, that means 95% of the money that comes into your household gets spent one way or another. Now, it doesn't take like a mathematician, I'm not one, or a finance major or something like that, to understand that if you're currently saving 5% and you decide to start saving 10%, that's going to drastically reduce the time period that it's going to take for you to achieve your goal, whatever that would be, for financial freedom. And then one step further, if you're saving 10% and you jump to 20%, that's going to drastically reduce the time frame down once again. You're saving four times more than what you were when you started. So of course that's going to drastically reduce the time frame. And so regardless of your definition of financial freedom, which we talked about in the very first episode we ever shot, was defining what financial freedom means to you. So regardless of your definition, it's going to be very hard to manage if we don't start to learn to live on less than we make and start saving money. Some people talk about real estate and how you can kind of get in with no money down, using hard money and things like that. And that's great if it works for you, but the easiest time-proven way is to learn to save money. But what most people don't realize, that's what I'm trying to get at, is that if you start saving 20% of your income, then you actually only need 80% of your income to replace as your lifestyle. So right now, if you're saving only 5%, that means you're living off 95%. And if you want to be completely financially free, to where you have passive income coming in that's equal to your lifestyle, that means you have to replace 95% of your income right now, and you're only saving 5% to make it. And if you compare that to saving 20% of your income, well, now you only have to replace 80% of it to really meet your lifestyle goals. So my suggestion to you is to learn to actually enjoy living on less than you make. My wife and I have lived on less than we made, a couple steps probably below our lifestyle, for a long time, and we love it. Living a more simple life to us allows us to do things that we want to do without doing things that are stressful or having stress or anxiety involved with maybe a more extravagant lifestyle can bring upon people. Now, some people take my advice to an extreme. I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to live like a pauper. I don't want you to be a penny hoarder. Some people are so miserly it eats them up. I believe money is meant to be enjoyed. But what I am saying is that I know plenty of people who make a lot less money than I do, who seem to be very happy and very contented and don't have very many worries. I see a lot of people who make a lot more money than I do, and they're the ones with all the anxiety and the stress to try to maintain the lifestyle that they've built, that the guy who's making 1/3 of what they're making has none of those worries, and he's living totally fine. So one of the first steps in finding contentment in living less, or living on less than what you make, living below your means, or however you want to call it, is to start finding joy again in more simple things, instead of only really having enjoyment in the extravagant things. Things like going to the zoo instead of, going on a big vacation or something like that, or a staycation, or going on a road trip instead of flying, or just going on a walk as a family, or doing something like at the park, or cooking dinner together. It can be fun. Eating dinner at home can be just as fun as eating out. And actually finding enjoyment in those things can help you be far more contented and not need a huge lifestyle to match it. So remember, if you get to the point where you're saving money and enjoying living on less than you make, and enjoying the lifestyle that works that way, it's going to take you a lot less time, because you'll start saving money, more and more money than you are. It's going to take you a lot less time to hit the goal you're trying to hit, but also because you're learning to live and enjoy a lifestyle that's a little bit less than before. Not only are you going to have more money in a shorter period of time, but it's going to take less to keep you happy and to keep you financially free. So remember, if you don't start building your financial freedom, nobody's going to do it for you. So let's go ahead and get to work. We'll see you next week on another episode of Financial Freedom Friday. Thanks.